guys, welcome back to the channel. Voice is getting a little better. Not perfect, but a little better. We have a new product alert from Steve Burton of New Performance Auto, and I think it's worthy of its own video. Steve does a lot to help us out, whether it be machine work, advice, whatever the case may be. But Steve recently came out with new main dowels. He also came out with a few other dowels as well, which let me grab those. So we got a customer 6.7 engine build, another one of our ultimate 6.7s. And we're going to put them in here, and I'm gonna put them in pretty much from here on out. Now, he does sell these in a couple different variations, but we have not cleaned any of this, so as you guys can see, there's a mess there. But Steve has come out with the front timing case dowels. That is the ones that are going to go like right here. This is obviously the rear of the block, but here, right there. So he's come out with replacement fronts. He also has the cylinder head ones as well. So again, give them a call. Now, for a lot of you guys, we run Cummins engines. These Cummins engines have locating dowels, okay? Here and here. Now, these dowels serve quite a few different purposes. Number one, alignment. Number two, adds a little bit of security for what they call cap walk. Essentially, at very high loads, high RPM, this cap will actually kind of walk like this in the block. And actually, you know what? Let me throw it in the block here. So you guys see there, caps in, it can kind of wobble, just like so. Now, up until this point that I know of, you just bought new Cummins factory ones. I've seen it where guys will not get this fully inserted. It'll be like this, and then they'll run the bolts down, and they'll actually deform this main cap dowel. And then from there, best of luck to you on your engine build. You're pretty much destined for failure from that point. So you want to make sure that when you install these, you smack them down. Now, they're not going to be perfectly flat. I've never seen a perfectly flat cap. They are going to have a little bit of preload in it. That is part of the bearing retention as well. Now, the cool part about these dowels, okay? So Steve has them in two different sizes. Now, for those of you guys that are unaware, this is your factory 12 millimeter main cap bolt. Okay, you guys see here? It looks kind of similar to a head bolt. The threads are different. So here's a Cummins head bolt. There is head bolt here, main bolt here. So they are similar somewhat. However, thread pitch is different, length's different, etc. Now these are a torque plus angle. Yeah, you can see torque plus angle. I forget the spec, but they end up being around 110 foot-pounds, if my memory recalls. Then your next step, you have this ARP part number. This is for a common rail. This is the 5904 and up with the factory block stiffener. That's what that part number is for. And you guys can see here, we have a main stud. These will thread into the block. You apply your ARP nut here. These are meant to clear the factory block stiffener. And these have a final torque of about 125 foot-pounds, I do believe. And these are ARP 2000 material. Then, these are good stockish motors. Then you move up to these. These are the 14 mils. Some companies run 9/16. They're very similar in construction. Now, in all of our big engine builds, the minimum you're getting is a 14 mil stud. Now, these are for a 12 valve. Now, on this stud, okay, your block has to be drilled and tapped for 14 mil. A stock engine block accepts these, not a 14 mil. And a little comparison here, you guys can kind of see it's a lot bigger on these. These have a finished torque of 175 foot-pounds. So cap walk essentially happens when the clamp load does not put enough pressure on this, and it's basically able to rock. Now there's a couple other reasons, but for this intensive purpose of what we're talking about, the cap walk. So one of the ways we fix it is by going to an M14. You get more clamp load on the cap, therefore keeping the cap tighter to the block. Now, yes, you can run girdles. The reason why I don't like running girdles on an M14 stud with a stock 6.7 block, okay? We have quite a few good data points on this with the ARP 14 mil main stud on a stock block, meaning no sleeves, no deck plate, okay? This is just a stock block. I have yet to see any fretting that's alarming, and we have spun my motors well past 6,000 RPM many times. This is a setup that allows us to be extremely competitive on price, but in my opinion, not sacrificing anything on quality. Guys, if these engines needed a girdle, you know, you're talking probably a $1,000 price swing. If it really needed a girdle, I would sell it. I am in the business to make money, like everyone else. I have yet to see a block survive, come out the side, more so than a 14 mil holding that cap down. Now, back to what Steve has done. Now, Steve has came out with a new dowel. These will replace your factory dowels. They have a nice chamfer on both sides, which will aid in install. And then this dowel itself is actually bigger. So if you look here, we'll go millimeters here. 18 mil dowel, okay? 18 mil dowel. Your inside diameter is going to be, we'll call it 15, okay? Now, Steve's dowels, I'm going to do this over here just so I don't get confused. Steve dowels, again, 18 millimeter comes in perfect. Then on the inside, we have 14.64, okay? And then again, on this one, $15, okay? So almost half a millimeter thicker. Now, what that is going to do is it's just like with the connecting rods. If you guys watch like Carrillo, this is a bad example because like Wagler and D&J, they actually cut notches for their doweling. But on a Carrillo rod, they use a dowel. A dowel does prevent quite a bit of fretting. By making these thicker and out of a better material, Steve has given two things. Number one, the dowel's not going to want to deform because it is thicker. Number two, there's more surface area contacting the block. Okay, so we look here. You guys see how tight that is on the threads. All right, and then let's let me rig up a better way here. I'm gonna pull one of these out. Okay, so I got a stock one out. The other thing he's done is made them longer. Gives you a little bit more engagement in the block. Now, if we look at a stock dowel versus Steve's dowel, you guys can see the difference here. It's not much, but I'm telling you guys, half a millimeter is a big deal. I'm very excited. Now, he also does offer these in 12 millimeter. Let me open up. Let me give a gander here. Let me see here. 14. Send me a couple of sets to. All right, hold on. Now, if you're gonna run a 12 mil fastener, whether it be these main studs here, 12 mil girdle, factory bolt, look at the beef on this guy. So that one, again, it's unfortunate that we run 14 mils because you lose all this meat here, but 12.8, 14, hold on, 15. So gaining almost or just over 2 millimeters on these. And then on this one again, you're gaining that half a millimeter. So again, kind of a boring video. I do apologize. Not really an infomercial. Steve came up with these. I was super excited. We ordered some sets to try out. I definitely want to put them even in my deck plate. This right here are the main caps out of our UCC deck plate. And you guys could see I don't know if I nicked these or what, but you guys can kind of see how these are dented in. I think as I yanked it out, I kind of deformed it. So we're going to definitely use Steve's dowels on our main caps here. And this is a poor example for fretting because with this girdle here, it does not really fret at all. But guys, I just want to preface this. If you want to run a girdle, run a girdle. Make sure you get the block line honed. If you want to run 12 mil studs, that's fine. Run 12 mil studs, line hone. If you want to run 14 mil studs, also fine. Drill and tap, line hone. If you want to run a 14 mil girdle, drill and tap, line hone. I'm not going to sit here and try to preach to you guys on why I think my way is better. We've tested it. I have over 25 of these now out. We have yet to have any bottom end problems at all. You put a full weight crank in there, 14 mil studs, and again, it's solid. 9/16 studs, again, totally fine. It's pretty much a 14 mil. I actually think 9/16 is a little bit bigger, but either way, this is just what's worked really well for me. It's worked well for our business. It's worked well for our customers. It saves them about $1,000. And again, I'm not stopping you guys. The only thing I would caution you on, don't put a lot of faith in a 12 millimeter girdle. 12 millimeter girdle, you just don't have enough clamp load on this main cap to really secure the girdle to the block. That's just what I've found. I have fretted more main caps with a 12 mil girdle than I have ever fretted with 14 mil studs, no girdle. So again, if that's what you want and that's what you can afford, or that's what's in your build or whatever, you know, at the end of the day, who's ever machining your engine, building your engine, if that's what they want to put in there, that's totally fine. Don't start throwing shade and stuff. That's not why I do this. I'm just showing you guys what's worked well for us and what we will continue to sell. That being said, if a customer wants a 14 mil girdle, we'll just sell them a new Performance Auto one. That's usually the one that puts in here. If you want to bring something, most of the time I just tell you to sell it and we just put a new Performance in. It's easier. Steve knows how to cut it, and we've already gone over girdles in a lot of depth previously. That is just how we offer the ultimate 6.7s, and then anything beyond that gets a 14 mil or 9/16 girdle. You guys that are building your engines yourself, maybe you have a shop like ours that builds engines for customers. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is the end all be all, because it's not. These are just these little problem solving parts. Number one, if you've ever had to buy Cummins dowels, especially for like the front and stuff, I also do know Fleece uses or makes them as well. I've used Steve's now one time. I've used Fleece's several times. Both of them install awesome. So if you buy them from Fleece, go ahead, keep getting them from Fleece. If Fleece goes out of stock and you need some, give New Performance Auto a call. If you're a new customer and you want to get it all, just give New Performance a call. Again, I will drop their phone number for you to give them a holler. Steve does machine work as well as full engine builds. They've pretty much shut the service side of the shop down, but Rural Retreat, Virginia, about 40 miles north of where we're at in Abingdon. You guys can pick these dowels up. Again, 12 mil for your factory bolts or your smaller ARP main studs or a girdle. And then if you want to run the thick boy, the 14 mil, again, nice little upgrade here. And I think this is going to just further enhance what we've already been doing with these 14 mils, guys. I'm telling you right now, as far as ARP studs go, don't feel bad about buying them wherever. It's just gotten out of hand, guys. It's very hard to make any money on ARP hardware, so I do not mind. But if you guys want to support another small business, give Steve a call. Pick up a set of these. Again, 14 mil, 12 mil. This is your factory one. Nice little upgrade. Just doing rough math. That's about 5% more surface area on the 14 mil and about 12.5% on the 12 mil. And that again is for your main caps. And then last little tidbit for you guys, if you didn't know this already, if you lose your dowels for your adapter plate or on your transmission adapter plate, not these, transmission adapter plate, it's actually a main cap stud, so main cap dowel. So if you end up needing one of those, Steve's do work in the transmission adapter plate. I just had to do that earlier this morning on a G56 transmission. These worked fantastic. Anyway, guys, hopefully you had a great Christmas. Again, once we get back from the holidays, we have the 1986 K3500 swap going on. Hopefully the quad cab's almost done, ready for its big reveal. I haven't forgotten about the 6-liter, and we're going to hop on the Duramax as well. Got a nice little part to install on that. And again, stay safe. If you drink, don't drive. If you drive, don't drink. Enjoy the new year with your friends, family, loved ones. Give this one a big thumbs up. Again, New Performance Auto, Row Retreat, Virginia. Give Steve and Julie a call. Get yourself some of these new main cap dowels. Drop your comment down below. Subscribe if you're not already. And as always, guys, I'll catch y'all on the next one.